Stories of digital revolutionaries that are using Net Promoter philosophy and tools to shape winning strategies. Companies such as Airbnb, Warby Parker, Peloton, and Chewy. By the time you finish the book, you will surely have a new understanding of what it takes to build a great business. To be clear, this book is no mere recap of Fred's greatest hits. I consider Winning on Purpose to be his most important work to date. It reveals fresh breakthrough insights and clarifies the moral responsibilities of leadership as the world transitions from financial capitalism to customer capitalism. The book also provides deep and convincing evidence that the primary purpose that guides all great organizations is to enrich the lives of customers. Hence, Winning on Purpose. If you do nothing else, listen to Fred's Customer Capitalist Manifesto, quoted earlier and written in full in Chapter 9, which distills his arguments to their very essence. Be sure to study the charts in Chapter 5, which demonstrate that only companies that win the love of their customers can sustainably deliver superior returns to investors. And be sure to get familiar and comfortable with Fred's earned growth rate, his powerful new metric that will help unlock the next burst of progress in the NPS revolution. I hope that you will enjoy and find practical value in Winning on Purpose as much as I did. It is the right book at the right time. Preface. The Genesis of Net Promoter. Just a few weeks before my 65th birthday, I awoke from an anesthesia-induced sleep to hear my doctor pronounce 6 dreaded words. You have a large malignant tumor. Talk about a bracing wake-up call. Later that day, I followed the nurse's instructions to hold my breath and remain motionless while the unyielding gantry glided me through the CT scan machine. As barium contrast dye pumped through my veins to ferret out just how far my cancer had spread, it struck me that no matter what the radiologist discovered, my clock was ticking. As usual, my head was full of ideas that I wanted to share, but this time was different. If I failed to get those thoughts down on paper, and if I reached the end of my road sooner than expected, those ideas would disappear along with me. So, it was the diagnosis of a potentially life-threatening cancer that first got me focused on writing this book. After a week of scans and tests, my team of physicians sat me down and explained that my treatment regimen would take more than a year, with multiple surgeries bracketed by months of chemo and radiation. They introduced me to the notion of survival curves. That is, what percentage of patients with my condition could expect to be alive in 2 or 5 years. Again, that kind of conversation really focuses the mind. It makes you think very hard about what you most want to get accomplished while you still have the chance. The more I thought about it, the more I became convinced that I simply had to get this book written. If you're like me, under normal circumstances, procrastination comes pretty easily, especially when you think you probably have another decade or 2 of good health ahead of you. In addition, I don't really enjoy the writing process. It's the mental equivalent of strenuous calisthenics. Yes, you know it's the right thing to do, but actually doing it is no fun at all. Luckily, I got my wake-up call while there was still time to take action. So, what are these ideas that seemed so important to me, to the extent that I was willing to devote the rest of what might be a foreshortened life to a task I really don't relish? I hope this book will make the answer very clear. I have spent most of my 44-year career at Bain & Company focused on one subject: understanding the role that loyalty plays in building and sustaining great organizations, and then developing tools and frameworks to help leaders nurture that focus. In my several published books, dozens of articles, and hundreds of speeches, thousands if you include the dinner lectures my poor family has been subjected to over the years, I've had plenty of opportunity to clarify and communicate my thinking. Meanwhile, the viral transmission of Net Promoter has spread my ideas to countless thousands of organizations around the globe. Pretty cool. So, it might be reasonable to assume that there was little more I could say about the subject. A reasonable person in my situation might resolve to fight through the daunting regimen of radiation, surgery, and chemotherapy, and then retire to the garden, secure in the knowledge that the necessary seeds have been well planted.